Standard 7-foot high garage door. Stock 2019 Ram Rebel. It should fit in. It's got stock wheels and tires. What should it happen? It looks like it's getting clear. We've got the vehicle on the jack stands with the wheel chocks. Next step, remove passenger side tailpipe from vehicle by loosening clamp and dismounting wire hanger from stock mount. Normally, you would spray penetrating oil. I like to use PD Blaster on these fasteners before removing them, but this is a brand new truck, so I think it's going to be fine. 15mm. Clamp is good and loose. Alright, now we'll go on to the exhaust hanger next. Alright. Okay, this is the passenger side resonator exhaust hanger. You can do this with a pry bar and pliers. I prefer to use exhaust hanger pliers. Okay, we got that off. I don't know if you can see the clamp. That's loosened. I'm going to start by rotating this left and right, or clockwise and counterclockwise to loosen it. So up and down, left and right, and pull. And this puppy is off. Remove factory tailpipe from vehicle by cutting it near muffler outlet and dismounting wire hangers from factory mounts. Okay, so I have not done the exhaust hanger on the driver's side yet. I am going to cut it first. Grab my trusty Milwaukee. Oh, darn it. I scratched the bottom of the truck just a little bit. Okay. Look at that. Okay, next step, remove the hanger. Let's give it a wiggle. Okay, that's out. Next step, remove factory muffler wire hangers, there's 3 of them, from factory isolators and detach grounding wire. Alright, so I recorded this earlier and it didn't quite record correctly. Those a lot, until they're barely hanging on. Then, next you're going to unclip your ground wire, just clips on just like that. Unclip your ground wire, use your exhaust hanger pliers. Pow, that thing's off. Okay. Next step, you're going to switch over to your 13mm. Okay. Don't need that anymore. This will just slip off. Be careful. Disassemble nuts from factory pipe and catalytic converter flange. Remove muffler. You're going to end up knocking these studs out and using the hardware that came with the American Thunder Kit. Okay, ground wire's loose. Exhaust hanger's off. Collector bolts are off. Back hanger's off. Grab it here. Grab it here. Catch any fuel lines back there. Muffler system is off. Let's see what it sounds like without a muffler. stock studs from catalytic converter. They're using an air hammer. I don't have an air compressor here, so I'm going to use a brass hammer. Next step, install FlowMaster exhaust system. Remove nuts from stock and nuts from FlowMaster clamps. Apply anti-seize compound to threads and reassemble. For the 6-foot 4-inch crew cab, do not modify inlet pipe. For a 5-foot 7 crew cab, trim 9 inches from the end of the pipe. For a 6-foot 4 quad cab, remove 12 inches from the end of the pipe. This is very important. Take a tape measure and measure your bed before you do anything. If you're not sure exactly what to do, you can just lay it out. And it kind of looks like we're trimming 12 inches off here. Ooh, yeah, 12 inches. That's gonna put us right where we need to be for the 6-foot 4 bed with the quad cab for the 2019 Ram Rebel. Nice. That's pretty square. I think that'll do. It's a slip fit, so it doesn't matter that much. Next, we are going to secure flanges using the bolt through flat washer, then the flange, then a lock washer, and a nut. You're going to place the clamp onto the extension, then connect it to the inlet pipe and the wire hanger and the isolator. Tighten the clamp just enough to allow for adjustment and connect the grounding wire. We're going to set this up in a manner where you put the hanger through first, kind of hard. Okay, just slide it through, no big deal. Now you're gonna slide the collar back. You're gonna have to force it a little bit. It's okay. Just get the bell mouth over it. Okay, now you're gonna get your hardware on. Now, you're going to get this in there and you're going to leave it loose because you're going to have to change this orientation as you install parts, which is just going to hold it in place so that you can do more parts. Now, we're going to add the ground strap from the other exhaust system. I'll show you that here in the next clip. Just make sure you get your orientation pretty close. As soon as the bolt's loose, wait till everything is installed until you tighten these. Next step, place clamps. There's 3 of them on the muffler inlets and outlets. Then connect muffler to the extension. Tighten the clamp on the muffler inlet just enough to allow for adjustment. Okay, so I put the clamps on. They're nice and loose. They're 15 millimeter. Get your anti-seize on there so they don't seize up, but I'm going to be welding everything, so I'm not really concerned about that. I like to put the seam facing up, not only because it's ugly, but also because condensation that builds up in the exhaust system will kill this weld eventually. It's just going to slip over. Everything's kind of loose. We're going to go take the factory hanger off of the old piping, and we are going to bolt it up so that the next 2 pieces, this one first, then this one, have a spot to hang. Okay, now we're going to put the factory hanger mount back in place. They're just 13 millimeter. Okay. Route the right tailpipe over the axle and hang the rear wire hanger in the stock isolator. Connect the right tailpipe to the muffler and hang the front wire hanger in the stock isolator. Then tighten the clamp just enough to allow for adjustment. Take the right side tailpipe section and you're gonna play a little bit of Tetris here, but it will fit if you get the vehicle 21.5 inches off the ground. I wonder, could we put it in the hanger first? Yes is the answer. If you're crafty and you can use your feet on the other exhaust hanger, you can install it, slip it in the muffler. Okay, now we're going to put the right side tailpipe section into the hanger. Next step, connect left over axle to muffler and hang wire hanger in stock isolator. Tighten clamp just enough to allow for adjustment. You don't want to tighten yet, you need to adjust everything. From the piping down there, to the muffler, to the tailpipes. Don't tighten anything yet. Okay, so last step here before you start adjusting and tightening things. Flip your other clamp over, get your last tailpipe section here. This is the left side, or the driver's side. We're going to try it like we did the muffler. We're going to try to put it in the hanger first because it sounds easier. Make sure you put your clamp on in a way that you can tighten it. 15 millimeter. Level. Okay, so that's pretty level. We're going to start here at the collector and the catalytic converter. We are going to use a 15 millimeter wrench and 15 millimeter socket. That's kind of where it's going to be. We got a nice overlap here with our exhaust system. You don't need a wrench for this, you just need a socket. I position the clamp in a place that's easy to access. 15 millimeter. I still have to add the ground strap on. Okay, level, level, muffler's level. I can access this clamp with my gun here. Make sure your overlap goes past here or you're going to have an exhaust leak. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. We're still pretty low. So you got your exhaust clamp on, you got your hanger here. We are going to put the ground on right here. All this is looking good. On to the next step. We want this to go on just a little bit further. And just shake it. Okay, he's in. Remember the overlap I talked about. They're looking good. They're looking good. We lifted the vehicle by the axle so that when you lower this down to the ground, everything's in its respective position. Unfortunately, the tailpipes need to be expanded in order to slip over this. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Notice there are no rattles. Surprisingly difficult. Disappointment. These do not slip over either. Disappointing. Okay, you're going to install these tailpipes with the bubble wrap on them so you don't scratch them or scratch the truck. You're going to need a rubber hammer. You will have to do some moving around to get them to look perfect. After you're happy with how they sit, then you tighten them down.